Hi everyone, good day. This is me again, Kate, and welcome back to my channel. And before anything else, let me give you a hint of what I am going to discuss for today's purpose, and this is all about culture. So sit back and relax. Be sure to join and listen to me in my discussion. Good day again, everyone. So today, we're going to tackle about culture that comprises its meaning, the different characteristics, and its functions. So first, meaning of culture. So as we all know, culture is just a single word but has a broader sense and has different meanings. We're going to give meaning of what really culture is by these three notable persons. So the first person was an English anthropologist and also the founder of cultural anthropology, Edward Tylor. He stated that culture is a complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, laws, customs, and habits, and any capabilities acquired by man as a member of society. That it is not limited to everybody. Both men and women created this. All that we are capable of doing and acquiring. So the second person was Ralph Linton. He said that culture is a social heredity, which means that the collections of ideas and habits which we learn transmit from generation to generation. The third one was Robert Redfield, an American anthropologist. According to him, culture is an organized body of conventional understanding, which means that a person who is conventional has behavior to conform in a group with common interest. Like for example, a human child as he grows up, he learns gradually from parents or from members of the group among whom he is born and among whom he lives. So next, we're going to tackle about the characteristics of culture. So first, we have learned behavior. Culture is often called as learned ways of behavior. And this is acquired through education, training, and experiences. Conscious and unconscious distinguish the learning. When we are aware of certain learning outcomes, it's easier to become aware of the one once we reach these outcomes. And some behaviors are obvious. When these are visible or obvious to people, this is called overt behavior. Like for example, wearing clothes and dancing. The second behavior are those that aren't openly visible, are called covert behavior. Like on the picture that was shown, hatred and planning for tomorrow's event or agenda are examples of covert behavior. Second, we have culture is abstract. It means that this exists in the minds or habits of members of the society. We cannot see culture, instead, we can only see human behavior. Like example to the picture was shown, the adolescent cultural behavior can be generalized from regularities in mannerism and conversation. So third, we have culture is a pattern of learned behavior. So what this means? So people have shared ways of patterns of thinking and feeling. To meet the common interest, people will act according to the behavior patterns defined by the culture. And the fourth, we have culture is the product of behavior. So culture does not exist in isolation, but it is a product of society and being developed through social interaction. Just like in the picture, but just by doing kindness to others, can attain the same values and it will continuously be contagious. And moreover, cultural learnings are the product of behavior. And so the fifth one, we have culture includes our attitudes, values, and knowledge. This is a cumulative deposit of knowledge, our experiences, beliefs, values, attitudes, and meanings that are acquired by a group of people in the course of generations through individual and group striving. Just like on the picture that has shown, it is one example that shows culture includes really our attitudes, values, and knowledge. 6, we have culture also includes material objects. So if all human beings in the world cease to exist, non-material aspects of culture would cease to exist along with them. Everything that perceived in our eyes, touched by our arms and hands, and felt by our heart are all parts of cultures. The 7 says that culture is shared by the members of society. Inculturation unifies people by providing common experiences, and this is attribute not as of individuals but individuals as members of the group that is being transmitted by society. 8, we have culture is super organic. Culture is somehow superior than nature, and this implies that objects may constitute a variety of quite different cultural objects. Like the example, the trees. The trees can be used as shade in late summer afternoon, or the farmer who picks its fruits, or young lovers who carve initials in its trunk. 9, we have culture is pervasive. Pervasive is synonymous to the word widespread or prevalent. At first, it provides an unquestioned context, and second, it spreads throughout different social activities and institutions. And this affects every part of our lives, every day, from birth to death, and everything in between. So 10, we have culture is a way of life. Individuals learn acceptable ways to behave in their culture. People discover what is valued and believed. The behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that they accept generally without thinking are passed along by communication and imitation from one generation to the next. 11, we have culture is a human product. What this implies. Cultures are not product of lone individuals, but are continuously evolving products of people interacting with each other. One example is having a birthday celebration. Having a birthday celebration is done due to the same interest by each member of the family, to the group, and being scattered in a society. 12, we have culture is idealistic. This implies that a set of ideals and goals before individuals that are worth attaining. It is the sum of the ideal patterns and norms of a behavior in a group, which provides opportunities, satisfactions of our needs and desires. And the 13th characteristics of culture states that culture is transmitted among members. So why culture is transmitted among members of society? What this implies? This is because the cultural ways are learned by persons. It serves as a transmission through ideas passed on generations with the main vehicle, which is the language, and other symbolic means of communication. And the 14th characteristics is culture continually changing. As what Redfield said, culture is a social heredity, which adds to the implications that culture never remains static but changing, that occurs through diffusion. 15, we have culture is variable. From the word itself, variable means changing or able to be changed or adapted. People participate in their own cultures in different ways. Moreover, they can also resist or subvert or challenge cultural practices. Given the picture as an example that shows culture varies with place, social category, gender, religion, ethnicity, and sexuality. 16th, we have culture is an integrated system. Holism, it focuses on the study of interconnected aspects in order to understand the whole culture, such as social, political, economic, and religious practices. And the last characteristic of culture we have language as the chief vehicle of culture. Through this, we are able to unite others and understand each other's life. We can communicate with members of society that conveys meaning into our social and cultural reality. After the characteristics, we're going to discuss the functions of culture. First function stated that culture defines situation. One does not know what to do in a situation until he has defined the situation. Culture defines social situations for us. It's not only defines, but for example, it determines what we eat or when to eat, drink, and so on. Culture defines attitudes, values, and goals. A person learns from his or her culture for what is believed to be good, true, and beautiful. From different influences like religion, morality, marriage, for being obedient to elders and teachers, or being loyal to husband, and also family planning. Third function, we have culture defines myths, legend, and supernatural. This is important part of every culture. And why? Because this provides the individual with already made view of the universe. Moreover, the nature of divine power and moral issues are defined by culture. Fourth function, we have culture provides behavior patterns. Culture imposes limits on human and activities. Groups of people develop distinct patterns of thoughts and emotions to respond to survival challenges of shared environment, shared humanity, and our unique personalities, like being engaged to marriage, as a good husband to wife, and a good son to father. Next, we are going to tackle about culture and society. So culture, meanings and information associated with social networks. It is a distinctive way of life of a group of people and their complete design for living. And next, society. Society is a system of interrelationships among people, a structured community of people bound together by similar traditions, institutions, and rationality. So that's all for my discussion about culture with its meaning, characteristics, and functions. And so before I will close my presentation, let me leave to you this beautiful quote from Edgar Watson Howe stated that Those who are actually in society are not as ridiculous as those who are trying to get in. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you learned something from me and thank you for listening and for watching. Have a great day.